I call him Craig, and you can call me Sam. But as he indicated, we're here this morning to kick off the informal phase of a process that we've started, and we're obliged to continue. So this is not some exercise that just has been started because we wanted to have something to do. We have plenty of other things to do. We have a statutory obligation to periodically review the rules. And every 5 years, we have to set about the process. And one of the things that you will see from this process is that we are working hard to develop a opportunity to get constructive input on an informal basis before we begin the formal phase of the rulemaking process, which we hope will give us a better opportunity to come up with a set of proposed rules that are better aligned with current conditions and circumstances, and also do a better job of guiding stakeholders, regardless of what your position is, so that you can better participate and add value to our decision-making process. We've set out some questions. I suppose most of you have got some ideas on how those questions should be answered, and we're interested in hearing that. We want to try to improve the review process, and improve is a relative term, of course, and as I've said often, continuous improvement is as important in government as it is in business. So there's always opportunities to improve rules because facts and circumstances change, and the rules need to keep up with what is going on in the real world. And in the area of land use regulation, particularly as it relates to major utility facilities, regardless of technology, we see an evolution taking place around the world, in other states, other communities. Land use regulators are continuously looking at what they need to do to discharge their responsibility to address public health and safety. And so part of this process is motivated by that perspective, but also we're mindful of our statutory obligation to proceed with a review of the rules, irrespective of whether anything needs to be changed or not. We want to try and improve upon what technical information is needed or required to allow us to make informed decisions. We also want to try to improve the post-certification compliance project or process. As many of you know, when we issue a certificate for a project, that certificate may often contain conditions that need to be satisfied. We want to try and bring some standardization, discipline to the compliance with those conditions and the transparency of that compliance as well. We've done a few of these informal things in some other subject areas. As you know, natural gas being one. We're trying to engage stakeholders to identify opportunities to get infrastructure expanded so that natural gas can be available in communities that want it and need it. And as I've said there, and I will say here today, we encourage people to leave their litigation position at the sign-in table. Constructively, if you have a litigation position, there will be opportunities for you to advance it. That's not suggesting it's not relevant, it's not important. It is important as you want to make it. But there is an opportunity on an informal basis to have a constructive conversation and not need to resort to your litigation position for the cost and resources associated with advancing that position. So if everybody can sort of trust each other for a little while and see what we can do to improve the process, there will be a formal phase, and also in that formal phase, you will have the opportunity to do whatever you think is best to protect your interest. As most of you know, beyond whatever we do in the rulemaking process, there is a legislative review of whatever rules we issue through the Joint Committee on Agency Rule Review. There's another opportunity for people to weigh in if they're unhappy with the quantity or quality of what we're doing. So we will give you plenty of process, and you will have plenty of opportunities, but the important thing from our perspective is leveraging your expertise, knowledge, passion, interest, and commitment to doing what is best for the state of Ohio and the citizens of the state in this particular area. So thank you all for the time and effort that you're be devoted. We know that people are sensitive about public meetings. We've canceled quite a few that were scheduled for next week and beyond. We chose not to cancel this one, quite frankly, because people have made arrangements already to be here. And we thought it would be more disruptive than not to do that. But I also know that people that are concerned about coming to public meetings may be wondering how they can participate. There are informal opportunities to participate. At the bottom of the agenda is a email address that people have comments. They will have an opportunity to submit comments. Nobody should feel like their lack of presence here today is a disability relative to the opportunity for them to provide whatever input that they want to provide. We want it, we need it, and we will make opportunities for people to feel comfortable about getting their views and interests advanced in this process along the way. As I hope comes as no surprise to you, I do other things here at the Commission, at the Public Utilities Commission, of the Power Siting Board, and so I will not be here long today. I apologize for that, but I've got some other things we need to do. Today is our signing session for the Public Utilities Commission. It happens this afternoon, and we're getting ready to make sure that we have all of our orders in the right place so that we can make some decisions today for the benefit of folks that are depending on us to do that. Director Butler, otherwise known as Craig, I'll turn it over to you. And again, thanks. It's great to see everybody. We'll see you out in the field as well. And as we've canceled some public hearings, so pay attention to what we're doing. We've canceled, we will reschedule them. We have to have them, we will have them. But we want to be mindful of the effort that's ongoing to reduce public meetings to the extent possible during this period where we're trying to insulate ourselves from the more robust problems associated with the virus. So thanks again, and we'll see you next